What makes a villain truly terrifying? Is it the blood, the screaming, the theatrical monologues about world domination? I'm here to tell you it's none of that. The most bone-chilling villain I've ever encountered doesn't laugh like a maniac or wear a cape. He doesn't even raise his voice. He asks you to call a coin toss, and somehow that's way more terrifying than any guy with a chainsaw. I'm talking about Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, and if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I mean. If you haven't, well, buckle up, because we're about to dissect what makes this character an absolute masterclass in villain design. The Coen brothers didn't just create a villain, they created something that feels almost inhuman. And Javier Bardem deserved every award he received for this performance, because what he pulled off shouldn't be humanly possible. He made us afraid of a haircut. Let's start with the obvious, that haircut. The Coen brothers had one clear instruction for Anton Chigurh's look. Make him feel like he's from Mars. And honestly, mission accomplished. That bizarre bowl cut wasn't a random choice. It was inspired by a real photo from 1979 of a man sitting in the bar of a brothel. The hairstylist also took ideas from medieval crusaders and 1960s mop tops, creating a look that's timeless, creepy, and totally out of place. It's not just bad, it's wrong in a way your brain can't quite process. It throws off your expectations because he doesn't look like a normal modern man. Then there's the outfit, a dark denim jacket, a neatly pressed shirt, and plain boots that somehow scream, "I'll kill you and still look clean doing it." He's not flashy, but he's precise and clean. He doesn't dress like a thug. He looks more like a ghost trying to pass as human, but getting the details just slightly off. That's the genius contrast. While most villains go for scars, black leather, or chaotic energy, Anton Chigurh is cold, calculated, and weirdly put together. He doesn't try to intimidate you with his looks. He just exists wrong, and that's way more terrifying. But there's more to him than just his stylistic choices. There's his voice. Javier Bardem adopts a completely neutral accent that doesn't belong anywhere. It's not Texan, it's not foreign, it's just nothing. You can't place him geographically, ethnically, or culturally. He exists in this linguistic void, which makes him even more uncanny. And speaking of identity, even his name is a deliberate dead end. Cormac McCarthy admitted that Chigurh was chosen completely at random. It has no meaning, no cultural significance, no backstory. But the real terror starts when he moves, or rather, when he doesn't move unnecessarily. Watch Chigurh in any scene, and you'll notice something unsettling. Every gesture is deliberate, economical, and precise. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't have nervous habits. He exists in this strange state of perfect stillness until action is required. Even when he's eating peanuts in this scene while talking to the old man at the gas station, each movement is controlled, almost robotic. No crumbs, no wasted motion. Or how about when he's sewing up his own wounds? No wincing, no cursing, no acknowledgement of pain, just methodical stitchwork like he's repairing a torn shirt. I've seen people show more emotion opening a jar of pickles. This isn't just good acting, this is character designed through behavior. The Coen brothers understood that what people don't do can be more frightening than what they do. Now, let's talk about his toys. That cattle stunner isn't just a weapon, it's a statement. This thing was designed to kill livestock instantly and humanely. Using it on people is both practical and deeply symbolic. To Chigurh, there's no difference between an animal and a human being. But it's not just what he uses, it's how he uses it. Take the scene where he kills the deputy at the beginning. He strangles the man with handcuffs, sneaking up while the deputy is on the phone, completely unnoticed. Most movie villains would make this dramatic, maybe even deliver a one-liner, but not him. He's disturbingly casual about it. The sudden burst of violence followed by complete calm. It's like watching a shark attack, quick, efficient, and emotionless. What gets me is the sound design here. No dramatic music, no building tension. Instead, the sound of a train rumbling is used to symbolize him as the unstoppable force that he is. The Coen brothers made a deliberate choice to strip the film of a traditional score. No orchestral stings, no ominous cues to tell you how to feel, just silence, punctuated by ambient sound. When Chigurh is on screen, the atmosphere changes. You hear footsteps, breathing, the metallic sound of his captive bolt pistol. It's unnerving because the world seems to hold its breath around him. There's no music to warn you, just this oppressive stillness, making every small sound feel deafening. It places Chigurh in the same cinematic lineage as Michael Myers, the Terminator, and Jason Voorhees, not as a man, but as a relentless force. But here's the twist. While those figures embody chaos, Chigurh is worse. He's structured, methodical, precise. He doesn't kill randomly. He follows rules. A system. He's not just violence. He's systematic violence. And somehow that's far more terrifying. Here's where Chigurh gets really interesting and really frightening. This isn't a guy killing for money, revenge, or even fun. He kills for principle. And that principle is completely incomprehensible to normal human beings. For example, the coin toss scene is still one of the scariest scenes in the entire movie. Not because of what happens, but because of what it represents. Chigurh isn't being random. He's following a code that only makes sense to him. I'd argue that the coin didn't decide the fate of the old man. Chigurh had already made that decision. The coin was just his way of involving fate in his methodology. This isn't just psychotic behavior, it's a window into his entire worldview. Chigurh genuinely believes that fate, chance, and chaos govern everything. He sees himself as an instrument of that chaos. When he tells the old man,
"It's been traveling 22 years to get here. And now it's here,"
he's not being poetic. He literally believes this moment was predetermined. And here's what's brilliant about this. It makes him unpredictable in the most predictable way. You know he's going to kill people, but you never know why he'll spare someone or how he'll justify it to himself. That uncertainty, that's pure terror. And this is where the book adds another layer of horror. In Cormac McCarthy's novel, after all the killing and chasing the money across half of Texas, Chigurh returns it. He gives the money back because it was never about the money. It was about maintaining the integrity of his personal universe. Think about how absolutely terrifying that is. You can't negotiate with him. You can't bribe him. You can't appeal to his greed or self-interest. He operates on a completely obscure moral framework where murder is just maintenance. Let's be clear about what we're dealing with here. Chigurh is a psychopath, but he's not the Hollywood version of a psychopath. He's the real thing, clinical, methodical, completely lacking in empathy. Watch his face in any scene. There's no sadistic pleasure, no anger, no frustration. He kills with the same emotional investment most of us have when stepping on an ant, and that's what makes him so uniquely terrifying, the complete absence of recognizable human emotion. Compare that to other great movie villains. Hannibal Lecter takes pleasure in psychological manipulation. The Joker delights in chaos. Even Michael Myers has that primal, animalistic fury. Chigurh has none of that. This isn't someone driven insane by trauma or corrupted by power. This is someone who is never fully human to begin with, and that's infinitely more unsettling than any origin story could ever be. So, what makes Anton Chigurh the perfect villain? Well, it's not just that he's scary. Lots of movie villains are scary. It's that he represents something genuinely new and mysterious. He's not the kind of evil we understand, like greed, revenge, or madness. He's the evil we can't comprehend. Sheriff Bell, the old lawman, trying to make sense of it all, represents traditional morality. The idea that if you're good enough, smart enough, experienced enough, you can understand and defeat evil. But Bell can't even comprehend Chigurh, let alone stop him. And that's what the Coen brothers and Cormac McCarthy understood. The most terrifying evil isn't the devil you know. It's the devil that operates on principles so unknown that you can't even recognize them as principles. Chigurh isn't chaos. He's order, just an order that has no place for human values, human concerns, or human life. In a world where traditional morality feels increasingly inadequate to address modern violence, Chigurh represents our deepest fear. That evil might not be something we can understand, negotiate with, or ultimately defeat. Sometimes evil just is, and sometimes, no matter how good you are or how hard you try, you still have to
call it.
What do you think? Is Chigurh the most terrifying villain ever put to film? Personally, I think he's one of the most ruthless and lethal villains ever put on screen. And I've always wanted to do a deep dive into his character. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a comment and let me know which character I should analyse next. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.